Temperatures are back near average. Our forecast low right around 55 degrees. And coming up, we'll be talking about a two-day event with ham radio.
We are here with Bob Barnum, who is the club president, and Kirby Giampa, who is the vice president. Thank you guys for coming on and joining us here today.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's talk. This is an annual event since 1933. That's a lot of years.
Right, so Field Day started back in the 1930s, and it's an event where we take our radios, we set up, it's almost like a disaster preparation drill. We set radios up in a field. Hams all over the U.S. will be doing this, and Canada, and then we try to contact as many stations as we can. And so not only is it a contest, but a disaster recovery drill, but it's also our open house. We invite the public to come to our event and see what we do, maybe get some new hams out of it.
Okay, well, Bob, let's take a big step back here. What the heck is a ham radio in the first place?
Okay, well, think of it like it can be a little guy like this, short-range communications. This is what we call a go box. It's got a little radio in here, about 100 watts.
Okay.
And with an antenna, we can communicate all over the U.S. and sometimes into Europe or even Australia. So, you know, it has a wide range of frequencies that we can use depending on what conditions are given to us. We kind of bounce things off the ionosphere, and depending on the time of day, it makes a difference in the distance that we use and the frequency.
So it's a wave communication that dates back more than a century.
That's correct.
That is pretty interesting. So do you only do this at the event, or do you do it nonstop throughout the year?
We all have we're licensed. There's a procedure to get a ham radio ticket. There's 3 classes, tech, general, and extra. There are privileges that go along with each one. So you can operate from home, or there's another popular event called Parks on the Air, which I operate as well, and some other guys in our club. And we'll take a portable radio like this, go out to a park, and communicate with, again, people all over the United States or beyond.
Okay, Kirby, see if you can explain this to me. So you're trying to get as many people as possible at this event. How do you try to do that? Are you changing the distance you're sending the radios? You're changing the frequency of the radio waves?
Yeah, Bob kind of touched on it. Our signals bounce off the sky and come back. And sometimes they bounce short, sometimes they bounce long. So there's a bunch of ham radio clubs like ours that'll be setting up in fields, and we get points for every station we talk to.
Got it. And they're all over the world?
Yeah. Over the U.S.
Over the U.S.
So there's stations over the world, but this is a U.S.-based contest.
Got it.
And yeah, you did mention it's a contest that starts at 1 p.m. and runs all the way and ends the next day at 1 p.m.
Correct.
And we talked about this. Are you guys sleeping at all? Are you up?
Yeah, we'll sleep a little bit, depending on, you know, how we are at late nights. But for the public, we'll be operating in Sugar Camp. So there's a park right near the town hall there at Camp 4 Road. And so the public is invited from 1 to 8 o'clock on Saturday and from 9 to 1 on Sunday. So that's the setup, and we're open to have, you know, anyone of the public come and see what we're doing. Also, if you happen to be interested in amateur radio, we'll have information available to make sure that you can understand how to obtain a license. And there's a little testing procedure for that, some technical stuff and non-technical.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Looks like a really fun 2-day field event.
Hope to see you there.
This weekend. All right, coming up, we'll be talking about Wisconsin, the Summerfest happening this weekend as well after this break.